Hello, hello, hello. Come join me. I'm starting a couple minutes early because I want to know if you can hear me. I have a different microphone than normal. So let me know if you can hear me and I will continue. If not, I will switch back to my other headset that I do know that works. So when you get in here, let me know where you're joining me from. And again, if you can hear me, I would greatly appreciate it if you could tell me that so I'm not just talking to myself. But I am Carol C.C. Miller, your positive life strategist. Peace. Oh, yay, you can hear me. I'm so glad because I was tired of using that headset all the time. Thank you so much. Is it Gina or Jenna? Gina, I'm going to assume. Welcome, welcome. I'm Carol C.C. Miller, your positive life strategist, peace activator, and global hugger, coming to you with another episode of Embrace Your Life Chats, where the entire intention is to heighten celebrations and lessen sorrows through a positive focus. Let me know in comments where you're joining me from. I am in Chicago. It is a sunny and actually seasonably warm day here for a February winter day. Before we get started on today's topic, I do like to go over a couple of things, especially if you're new to me and positive focus. And one of those is I'm not a big believer in absolutes. The words always, never, right, wrong, good, or bad are not my favorites because there are 7 billion people on this planet. I can't begin to say what is right for 7 billion people. So I work on the majority of the time. 0 being always negative, 100 being always positive. I don't know anybody at 0 and I don't know anybody at 100. So the work that I do for myself personally and the people I work with is to stay in the 80 to 100%, which means fear visits me, unworthiness visits me, frustration, all of those heavier feelings visit me. But because of my daily practices, I don't live in that space. They visit, I do what I can to start feeling a little bit better and move forward from there. So I'm not a believer in when people say they're always kind or always happy or always loving. I've been teaching, speaking, writing about this topic for many, many years, and I'm not always any of those things. I am those the majority of the time because I've made it a daily practice to practice being loving, kind, compassionate, and peaceful. Those are my main values that I work with. Secondly, I like to let people know I'm a coach. I love supporting people in living their best life. I am not a counselor nor am I a therapist. And sometimes you need that type of support to live your best life. I just know that you're worthy of living that best life. So whether it's coaching, counseling, therapy, your best friend, clergy members, whatever it is, I encourage you to create that support system around you that helps you move forward to live your best life. And then lastly, I wanted to welcome a few new members to my Embrace Your Life community, which is here on Facebook. It's just a small group. It's free to join. However, I do ask a couple of questions to keep spammers out. And Charles, Barbara, and Nicolene have joined in that community. Because it's smaller, it's easier for me to see comments and questions as well. So that is kind of one of the reasons I started it in that fashion too. So let's get started. I'm going to come in here and say, hi, Brian, good to see you here. I'm going to say really quickly hello to people. I don't always see the comments live, and I do come back later in the day to see if there's any questions or if there are any topics you would like me to bring a little bit more love, kindness, compassion, and peace to the topic. If it's something I'm comfortable in discussing, I will discuss it on a future talk. I am here Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Hi, Kamal. Please pray for your sister. Absolutely sending so much love to your sister. Ashley joining from Maine, beautiful. Wilbur, welcome. Lan, I cannot understand what you have said, so I apologize for that. Gina is in Tennessee. Ellen, hello, Ellen. It's so good to see you. Ellen lives in Kentucky, but she travels a lot, so I don't know where she is right at this very moment. And that's one of the things I love about this community is often people are joining on these lives from all over the world. And it's really about embracing your life, meaning embracing the good parts, which are easy, or sometimes they're not always easy, and embracing the hard parts, the fear parts, the parts that scare us. Because when we embrace our entire life, that's when we're able to move forward with a little bit more grace and ease and live our best lives. So today's topic, again, if you're new to me, I like to take a word then use a definition, create an affirmation around it, and then some tips to bring it into a daily practice of something that we can work on. So today's word is create. So I'm curious as to what kind of life are you creating? Are you focusing on the things that you want in your life, or are you focusing on the things that you don't want in your life? And when the don't wants show up, it's really super easy to put your attention to that because it's right in front of you. So that's where the daily practices come in. So the word create is to make or produce something to cause something new to exist. Again, create, to make or produce something to cause something new to exist. So when you're making something, you're producing something for your life. Are you producing from a space? Are you creating from a space of, I love this, I like this, I want more of this? Or are you focusing on the things in your life that you don't want to happen again, or you're tired of it happening now? We all have challenges. I just used an absolute. The vast majority of us have challenges. I can't speak for 7 billion people, but I'm pretty confident that we all have challenges of some sort in our life or have had in our lives. So it's not about pretending they don't exist, but it is about how we're going to move forward to feel a little bit better. So what are you creating in your life? What do you want to create in your life? Do you want to create a kinder, more loving, compassionate, and peaceful world? Then we're going to focus on that. If you're fine creating more chaos and discord and discontent, then that would be what you would focus on as well. So our affirmation today is, I am creating the best possible life for me. Again, I am creating the best possible life for me. So if I'm saying I'm creating the best possible life for me, an affirmation is simply affirming a statement. So it's not positive or negative. The statement itself can be positive or it can be negative, but an affirmation is simply affirming a statement. So when you're affirming that you did something poorly, you're having a negative affirmation towards yourself. It's really something I would encourage you to pay attention to, especially when you use the words I am, to make sure the I am is followed by something positive, something supportive, something that's going to bring you closer to living that life you want, rather than the I am and the things that we did not do well. It's really easy to focus on what we haven't accomplished, what we haven't done well. And we're giving that the energy to grow the more we spend time there. I don't want you to pretend that you've had challenges or that maybe you're going through a challenge right now, but I do want you to bring the energy of compassion, of kindness, of love, and peace to those hard places in our lives. So again, the affirmation today is, I am creating the best possible life for me. Now, let's say you've had a couple of days, a week, a month, whatever, where you're absolutely focused on what's not working in your life. And I do not want to negate that. It's very common and natural to do, especially when you're in the middle of it. Often when we're going through a challenge, we can see the benefit of the challenge once we've gotten through it. When we find the benefit during it, that's where a little bit more magic takes place and you can move through it a little easier. But it's not about pretending life is perfect and unicorns and rainbows. I would love it if it were, but it's not that. So it's about meeting your challenges, meeting your fears, meeting that part inside of you that's afraid to be seen. And it's protecting yourselves from being hurt from others. So you kind of hurt yourself first by holding yourself back. So if you've been going through that experience where you have been beating yourself up at, you aren't paying attention to what you want and you are paying attention to what you don't want, I would encourage you to switch that affirmation. Because if you say an affirmation, like I'm going to say it right now, I am creating the best possible life for me. If I immediately think, no, I'm not, I just did XYZ 10 minutes ago, that wasn't the best life for me, then that affirmation, even though it's a positive statement, is not positive for me because I've already negated it. So when you come up with one, I encourage you to come up with something that feels right for you. Just check in. Is it an immediate no, that's not true? Because if it's an immediate no, even though it's a positive statement, it's not going to ring true to you. So I would then add in or change it completely. But you could add in, I'm in the process of creating the best possible life for me. And the process allows those moments where you're changing into that space. You want your affirmations to be believable to you and a little bit of a stretch from where you are right now. But if it's such a big stretch from where you are right now, it's probably not going to work for you because you're already saying no to it. So again, today's affirmation is I'm creating the best possible life for me. And some tips on creating that best possible life for you. First of all, I absolutely want to remind everyone to be gentle with themselves, because the best possible life does not mean rainbows and unicorns and puppy dogs 24/7. I don't know that that's possible. And matter of fact, I would come close to saying it is impossible to be in that space 24/7. But it is possible to be in that space the majority of the time. And as you're practicing it, that majority, you might start out where you're on the 40% of focusing on, you're focused on more of what you don't want at 40% than focusing on what you do want. And so it's just taking little steps to get to the 42, the 45, the 48, the 51, the 60, 70, 80. It's not about being right or being wrong or being bad or being good. It's about paying attention to how you feel and how you want to feel moving forward. So tip one is ask yourself, and I encourage you to actually spend some time with this in the next day, right now. And if you know already, I would love to see it in comments. Ask yourself, what does living your best life look like? What does it feel like? What does it sound like? What car are you driving? What job are you going to? Who are you surrounded by? How are you feeling? And ask yourself, what would be the ideal life for you to live? Does it include travel? Does it include owning a home, living in an apartment? Does it include, having a car? It's what works for you. And the outer materialistic things, it's not wrong to want all of those things, but it's really about, what does that particular car mean to you? Why will it feel good for you to drive that car? Or why would it feel good and worthy for you to have that job or be in that relationship? So write down everything you can think of that you would like. I love doing bucket lists on things that I'd like to experience in my life. Write them down and then go into the feeling place of why is that important to me? What I want to see the northern lights. Why is that important to me? Just to see the magic of the sky light up in that way, I just can't even imagine being in that energy and in that presence. So it's about how I would feel being there. I've seen them on video, I've seen it on TV, and it's awesome. I want to personally experience it. So I go into the feeling of what it would feel like to be in that space. So ask yourself what it is that would be what your best life looks like. What is it that's going to create more happiness in your life? What is it in your life that is going to allow you to feel worthy of having that best life? Write it down, write it down, write it down, and write it all down. You may start writing something down and say, I can't have that. There's no way. That's okay. Write it down anyway. We're going to get out of our minds for this practice, and we're going to get into our hearts on why it is we want these things. The mind's going to want to tell you, you can't do this. You're too old. You're too young. You don't have the right degree. You live in the wrong part of the country, all those kinds of things. That's not what this personal practice activity is. So ask yourself what it is that would be your best life. Write it down. If you know some of them already, please share them in comments. And again, I will come back in and check on questions and comments at the end. If I come in there now, I will get sidetracked and forget what I wanted to talk about to begin with. So that's the first thing, ask. The second tip is to be aware. And I say this probably every time I'm here live, if not the majority of time for sure. It's because when we're aware of how we feel, then we're able to stay there because it feels good, or we're able to move forward to feeling a little bit better. When we are on autopilot, which is easy to do, it's easy to get on autopilot when things are going well too, or when things are going poorly, it's easy to get on autopilot. But when we're in autopilot, life is living us. We are not living life. When you stay in a space of gratitude, when you stay in a space of appreciation, when you're focused on what's going on around you, then you're in awareness. That allows you to make the shifts necessary or stay exactly where you are. And when I mentioned that if it feels good to stay there, guess what? If you're aware of the fact it doesn't feel good, you're aware of the fact that you're really mad right now, but you're not ready to move on, that is okay too. It's what feels right for you in this moment. I just encourage you not to stay in those heavier feelings for very long, because then they will try to pull you into being there more than not being there. So just know what feels right to you. Again, I don't want you pretending that your life is perfect and that you are living your best life. There is that fake it till you make it, and that is great, but you have to be aware when it's totally faking and you're immediately saying this isn't true, and when you're doing it kind of role playing where you're bringing it forth as a vision to move into. It's about how you feel. When you focus on how you feel, that's going to be your barometer to tell you this works, this is what I need to shift. So that's the second thing, is awareness. The third is to set an intention. What is it that you want to do today? What is it you want to experience? What is it you want to accomplish? What is it you want to feel? And set those intentions when you get up in the morning. I intend to do XYZ. I intend to feel really good. Set the intentions of how you want your day, how you want your week, your month, your year, your life to go. The more you have those intentions set, it brings you back to the awareness. When you sidestep and go off of your intentions, which guess what? You will. It's part of human nature is to not completely follow that path. But the more you're focused on it, the more you've practiced it, the more you're going to realize when you're out of alignment to your own intentions. It's going to be that little ringing in your head saying, this doesn't work for me anymore. And it'll bring you back to what does work for you. It's a practice, daily practice. And the more you practice it, the easier it comes. And then the next one is to visualize. And I think a lot of people I even sometimes have a hard time visualizing. But you've created what this best life looks like. Whether it's a particular car, whether it's a particular feeling, again, going into the feeling place of the material aspects of our life is what helps us to, I don't want to say accomplish it, but that's where living is in how we feel about what's going on. You could drive a car that probably shouldn't be on the road and feel awesome. You could drive a really expensive sports car and not feel great. So it really goes into what it feels like in the material world, but to stay within who you are and how you want to show up in the world. So when you visualize it, just do it for a couple of minutes at a time. Maybe the first thing in the morning, and maybe you're wanting to create the best job opportunity. That would be what your ideal job is. So visualize getting in the car, driving to that job, or if you're working from home, but visualize being in that space now and see how it feels and get into that feeling place. I'm going to start doing it twice a month. Right now I'm doing it once a month, and it's called Activate Your Dreams. And so it's a Monday Zoom call, group session, where you share a little bit about whatever that dream is you're wanting to create. The rest of us talk about it and you just listen. So it's a different way to visualize, where usually when we're visualizing, we're doing it for ourselves. But this process has everybody else visualizing for us. And then we feel like we're in it. It's a really powerful and fun activity. So that's part of my Mondays with me, which I always forget to include the link here. So I will try to remember after I get done with the live to put that in there. But it's a fun session. And I'm now doing it on the first and third Mondays of the month. And then the last thing would be to let go of the outcome. Like, plan that best life, see what it looks like, know what kind of car you want to have, or what job title, or where you're living in the country, but let go of how it shows up, and let go of the need for it showing up in a certain way, in a certain time, and just stay in that feeling place. Be gentle with yourself as you're creating your best life. When you catch yourself creating something you don't want, going to happen. I still can create what I don't want, and I find myself focused on the don't want. But because of my daily practices, I don't stay there as long. Sometimes I stay there longer. I'm like, wow, I can't believe I gave that so much energy. But it's about being gentle with yourself and going back to focusing on what you do want in your life. What brings you joy? What brings you happiness? What brings you peace in your life? So that's what I would encourage you to create. If you want a kinder world, create some kindness in your world. If you want a more loving world, create some more love in your world. If you want a more peaceful, compassionate world, create that in your world too. So that's what I've got for you today. Let me see if there's any questions here. Ashley, welcome. Kareem, I think I've said some of these things before, so I apologize if I am doubling down on people here. Wilbur, Tiffany. Yay, Tiffany, you finally caught me live. I'm grateful for you to be here. Amy, what is that behind you? A dream board. Oh, so Amy, behind me, there's a couple of things. I'm a big dream. I have it's a process called, I don't even remember the name all of a sudden. Behind me, I have some mentors. Like, actually, I don't know if you can tell, but there's a picture of Mr. Rogers because he is such a big impact as far as kindness goes. Ruth Bader Ginsburg's back there. So there's a few people who are now past. Wayne Dyer, those are three of my top mentors. So I have pictures of them to remind me of the work that I do in love, kindness, compassion, and peace. And then I have some sticky notes that have affirmations on them. I have some sticky notes on things I want to experience and some sticky notes on things that I already have planned and when they're going to happen. So it's a process on where I'm going to give most of my attention to. But yes, I love color. I love sticky notes. And I love being reminded about the people who came before me and how I want to continue to do the work that I love that they have done. So I hope that helps. And I do not see any other questions here. Again, I am here Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So if you have a topic you would like me, Amy, I think you did give me a topic on dealing with fake people. It might have been a different Amy, but I think it's you. So if you have a little bit more to say about what that looks like, let me know. But it is still on my list to cover. So today's topic was create, the definition: to make or produce something, to cause something new to exist. Our affirmation is I am creating the best possible life for me. And again, if that does not sound true to you, I'm in the process of creating the best possible life for me. Write down what that best possible life looks like. Get everything from the smallest wish to the largest. You know, those wishes, they're like, there's no way this can happen in my lifetime. Write it down anyway. We're not talking about how it's going to happen. We're talking about the feeling of wanting it to happen right now. Set an intention. Oh, second is to be aware. Be aware of your feelings, be aware of your feelings, be aware of your feelings. One thing that sometimes I do when I start getting frustrated or focus on what I don't want, I just put my hand on my heart and it just reminds me to return to me and return to who I want to be. That's a question I ask myself every day. Who do I want to be and how do I want to show up in the world? Well, I want to show up with kindness, love, compassion, and peace. So when I'm out of those spaces, which again, I'm there the majority of the time, but I'm not there all the time, I remind myself, okay, let's do what we can to step back into where I want to be. It's about being gentle. And I'm not always gentle with myself. So I just want everyone here to know all of these tips that I recommend to you, I do them myself. And some of them take a lot of work to get there. And some of them are a little bit easier, but be gentle with yourself in the process of creating your best life. And then set the intentions of what you want your day to look like, what you want your life to look like. And the more that you have those intentions set, the more you're going to be aware of them and return back to what you want, rather than letting autopilot take over, where you start letting life live you again. Visualize, close your eyes, and just for a couple moments, put yourself in that dream job, put yourself in that dream relationship, put yourself in whatever it is that is part of your best life. I would encourage you to just do it for a couple of minutes. I think they recommend 5 at the most at one time, because it's easy to then start looking at everything else or your to-do list, or, oh, I haven't answered this email yet, or on and on and on. So just do it for a couple of short minutes each day. If you could do it a couple times a day, great. But you want it to feel good. I don't want it to be like, oh, I have to go visualize now. That's not the energy you want to be in to visualize. And also to remember that I have that dream activation Zoom calls on the first and third Mondays of the month. So I will remember to post a link later. I have somebody working on my website right now, so I have to even see if that link is currently working, but I will definitely post that in there. And then let go of how it shows up, and let go of the times that you're not nice to yourself, and let go of the fact that you've been focusing far more on what you don't want than what you do want. In that moment, that's what you needed, and that's okay. Ask yourself, who do I want to be? Who do I want to be right now? Who do I want to be today? And who do I want to be in this world? How do I want to show up? Show up with love, kindness, compassion, and peace the majority of the time. Some days the majority might be 51%. Some days it may be 98%. But if you're over the 50 mark, you're in the majority of the time. So I encourage you to do that. I'm so grateful for you showing up here and being part of my discussion on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I do not know what tomorrow's topic is yet, unless somebody puts something in here. Then I'm like, okay, we'll go with that. Lynn, your first time here. Oh, yeah, I'm so glad you're here, Lynn. I hope you come back Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And it's still available later in the day to watch on replay. So just put a hashtag replay if you're somebody who's watching later, because I do want to make sure I say hello to you if I missed you on the original broadcast. So I will be back tomorrow. I don't know what the topic is yet, but it will be about something to heighten celebrations and lessen sorrows through a positive focus. Until then, have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Create something special for you. Create something magical and wonderful and loving. And remember, you matter. You matter to me. You matter to the world. And most importantly, you matter to you. So take care, and we will talk soon. You're so welcome, Brian. So good to see you here. I'll talk to you soon. So long for now.